Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight there is quite a few things to negotiate about. So I do believe Manchester United need to win every game now, so we can get that top four finish. We have got 8 games now remaining in the Premier League, and like I've said to you on my recent videos, we should win at least 6 of our 8 remaining games because we've got the easiest running out of all the Premier League teams. Of course, we drew our last game against Tottenham 1-1. Was actually, a decent point. I would have preferred it if Manchester United had won that game. You can say Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, got us at that point against Tottenham because, of course, Paul Pogba made an impact when he came on, and he was the one that got us the penalty, and Bruno Fernandes converted the penalty. So you can say, they got us that point. But the positive is that, we are unbeaten now in our last 12 games in all competitions. And it is our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. And we are still, definitely in that top four race. Of course, our next game is Sheffield United this Wednesday. The preview will be coming up for that game. It should be tomorrow. The preview is coming up. Like I said, Sheffield United isn't going to be an easy game. Since the season resumed, Sheffield United have actually, enjoyed a difficult start. Because they've lost 3-0 today against Newcastle. They also got a man sent off. And also, they drew with Aston Villa. But Sheffield United will feel as though, that they, got robbed in that game because, they did get a goal ruled out by VAR. After Sheffield United, of course, we have got Norwich in the FA Cup. In reality, we should win that game. We should progress to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Because Norwich, of course, are sitting bottom of the league. And like I mentioned, the FA Cup is a priority for us because it is a chance for us getting some silverware on the board. Let's put into the equation as well, the Europa League is a priority for us because that's a chance for us getting some silverware on the board. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got, a chance of winning 2 trophies, this season with Manchester United. Like I said, if we could win the FA Cup and the Europa League and also to get that top 4, it would be a fantastic achievement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United. Also, too, we've got obviously Bournemouth coming up very, very soon, and we've also got Brighton coming up as well. So they are the upcoming games. But in reality, we should win all of them. But, Sheffield United, revert back to what I said, it won't be, an easy game. Despite that, they lost today 3-0 to Newcastle. I still think Sheffield United have enjoyed a very, very good season. No one expected them to be in the position that they're in. And I've got to admire Chris Wilder because I think, he has done a very, very good job with Sheffield United. He's progressed Sheffield United all the way from League One, to 7th in the Premier League. I think they're sitting 7th in the Premier League. Sheffield United definitely won't get that top 4, but it would be a fantastic achievement from their perspective, if they could get that top 4. Chris Wilder is now into his 4th season with Sheffield United. Of course, I think Sheffield United is the 5th club in his managerial career because before he was at Sheffield United, he was, I think, at Oxford, and before that he was at Northampton, Halifax, and I think he began his managerial career at Alfred Town. The reverse fixture between Sheffield United and Man United at Bramall Lane, it was 3-3. Of course, don't forget, we was 2-0 down in that game. But, we showed good determination to come back from 2-0 down. We made it 3-2, and then Sheffield United, did score late on in that game. So they did salvage a point. Did Sheffield United. But yeah, so we've got to basically now win every game, to keep our top 4 ambitions alive, But we know we do need qualification for the Champions League for next season, so we can enjoy a competitive summer transfer market. We can attract players to the elite level, and plus if we do get Champions League qualification, we will generate money. But it basically depends on Manchester City's 2-year European ban. If it does get upheld, then 5th place is a Champions League spot. But I'm still very, very convinced, that we can get that top 4. I think, for the game on Wednesday against Sheffield United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is definitely, going to make some changes from the 1-1 draw with Tottenham. You see my recent videos, didn't you? You know, what lineup, Manchester United should go with on Wednesday and what players, Manchester United should drop. I think we're going to drop Fred on Wednesday. I thought Fred did quite well against Tottenham. He passed the ball quite well and he kept hold of the ball really, really well, did Fred, and showed some good attacking impetus. But I think, he will be dropped on Wednesday and Paul Pogba will start on Wednesday against Sheffield United. Solskjaer was questioned, why he actually, didn't start Paul Pogba against Tottenham, but, he did come off the bench. He made a good impact when he came off the bench against Tottenham. That was his first appearance for the club in 176 days. So Paul Pogba will start against Sheffield United. Some United fans will say we should drop Lindelof against Sheffield United and put Eric Bailly there. That's what Manchester United should do. Obviously, this season it has been Lindelof and Harry Maguire that have been our first choice centre-halves. I still think Lindelof's a very, very good centre-half, but I don't think he was too good against Tottenham on Friday. Looked a bit exposed, struggled at times, and when Tottenham were counter-attacking, he couldn't really handle that pressure, could Victor Lindelof and that. But he probably won't drop Lindelof for Wednesday, but if it was me, I'd actually, put Bailly ahead of Victor Lindelof, I really, really would. Obviously, as well, we could actually, start Greenwood on Wednesday against Sheffield United, Mason Greenwood. Because Greenwood has made a lot of substitute appearances this season, but, he's not really started from the start, if you get what I mean. Obviously, Greenwood scored around 12 or 13 goals in all competitions this season. So on Wednesday, he could start Greenwood and he actually, could drop Daniel James, because for the vast majority of this season, Daniel James has been playing on that right-hand side and Greenwood can play on the right. But Daniel James is actually more effective from that left-hand side. Daniel James has played around 38 games for Man United in all competitions this season, but I don't think, he was too good against Tottenham and that. Some United fans have said, maybe we should drop Anthony Martial, because some United fans don't think he's an automatic starter. Martial has actually been starting a lot of games under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this season. Don't forget, Martial has been playing in that number 9 role. And I think he's very, very effective in that central position. But, Martial doesn't predominantly play centrally. He predominantly, plays out wide, because in the 4 previous seasons, Martial has been playing out wide. He's done well under Solskjaer this season. He wasn't too good against Tottenham on Friday. He had some good chances, but he weren't too good in the game. I think one of the best seasons Anthony Martial enjoyed was his debut season under Louis van Gaal era. We got Anthony Martial as a 19-year-old and now he's 24, so this has been his 5th season at Manchester United and that. So if it was to drop Anthony Martial on Wednesday, which I don't think will happen, but some United fans are saying it, then, we could put Ighalo in Martial's position, then obviously, keep Rashford out wide on the left. I did say to didn't I? Probably Ighalo's starts now will be limited at the football club, because obviously, Marcus Rashford, is, back now. Like I said, Ighalo's enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. Don't forget, the other week we extended Odion Ighalo's loan until the end of January 2021. So he's going to be staying at the football club for a further 7 months, is Odion Ighalo. He's Odion Ighalo and that. With no option to buy Odion Ighalo, there's no obligation to buy. So after the loan, Ighalo, will go back to Shanghai Shenhua. So, he will make some changes. Some people think, he may only make 1 or 2 changes in the game. But we've got to win that game on Wednesday against Sheffield United. We're really, really doing that. We've got to win that game. Like I said to you as well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got some big decisions to make at Manchester United. Like I said to you on my video yesterday, and I think I mentioned it earlier on today, he's got a goalkeeping decision to make. We've got to make a decision on David De Gea. We really, really have. Because I said to you, didn't I, on my video yesterday, that David De Gea's transfer now is looking inevitable. It's looking inevitable, David De Gea's transfer away from Manchester United. I don't think we'll sell David De Gea in the summer transfer window. I think, if we're to sell him, we'll sell him next year. Now, we do know David De Gea is going to remain our number 1 goalkeeper for the remainder of this season, but David De Gea's been our number one goalkeeper for several years. He's been our number one goalkeeper for several years. Like I've mentioned to you on my recent videos as well, of course, Roy Keane had criticised David De Gea recently. He also criticised Harry Maguire and so too Luke Shaw, because they were accountable for Steven Bergwijn's goal. Harry Maguire should have defended it. Luke Shaw shouldn't have headed it on in the first place for that attack to materialise, and De Gea, should have saved it and all of that. He heard what Roy Keane had said at half-time during the Tottenham Man United game. He said, David De Gea is overrated, and he said De Gea and Harry Maguire, should get their tactics back to Manchester. And he did, say sick to death of David De Gea. David De Gea, overall is still regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, reflecting on, what he's achieved at the football club. And, he's also won individual honours as well, individual awards, sorry. He's obviously, won everything here domestically. He's won the Club's Player of the Year quite a few times as well. And I think David De Gea has nearly made 400 appearances now for the club in all competitions. But this is now David De Gea's 9th season at Manchester United. He's enjoyed seven exceptional years at the club out of the 9 years he's been here. But in the last couple of years, he has been a liability. As David De Gea. And don't forget, he's now approaching his 10th year at the football club, and David De Gea is in his late 20s. Don't forget, last year, we give David De Gea a new long-term contract, worth £375,000 per week. But I said, didn't I, when David De Gea leaves Manchester United, he'll go back to Spain. Because, like I said, he's born in Spain, began his footballing career in Spain with Atletico Madrid. He was close to joining Real Madrid in 2015, but due to the fax machine on deadline day, the move never materialised. We only paid $17 million for De Gea from Atletico Madrid. We got him under the Ferguson era. So if we were to sell David De Gea next year, we'd definitely, get more, than what we paid for him. I think we could still get maybe around 40, 50, maybe £60 million for him if we do sell him. But David De Gea's position now is under threat at Manchester United because, we have recently said we are considering making Dean Henderson our number one goalkeeper for next season. Solskjaer did say recently that, Dean Henderson will be England's number one goalkeeper and Manchester United's number one goalkeeper for the future. Dean Henderson is a foreseeable future for Man United, and he is the long-term replacement for David De Gea. Dean Henderson has done very, very well on his loan spell with Sheffield United. This has been his second season on loan with Sheffield United. He's been Sheffield United's, player of the season as Dean Henderson. He's had quite a few other loan spells as well with Stockport, Grimsby, Shrewsbury. Didn't he used to play for Carlisle as well, former Carlisle player. And he's got a contract with us as Dean Henderson until 2022. But we won't get rid of him permanently, Dean Henderson. You saw my recent video and it said, Chelsea have expressed an interest in Dean Henderson and they are preparing to put around the £50 million bidding for him. But we won't get rid of Dean Henderson permanently. I think, we should actually, drop David De Gea for the remainder of this season, but, we can't really do that because, we haven't got Dean Henderson now. He's going to be staying on loan with Sheffield United for the remainder of the season. And, of course, Sergio Romero, he's one of our backup goalkeepers. Romero isn't reliable enough to come our number one goalkeeper for the remainder of the season. Sergio Romero, he tends, to play in the cup games and all of that. We've obviously, got Lee Grant. He's hardly played since he come in. And also, too, we've got Joe Pereira that is out on loan. Like I said, we are facing a bit of a dilemma at left-back, aren't we? Because we've got Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams they are our left-backs. Like I said, I think for the remainder of this season, Luke Shaw will remain our first choice left back. But maybe, next season it could be different. Brandon Williams could become our first choice left back and that. But if, Solskjaer was to go with 5 at the back or 3 at the back, then, we can play them in our starting 11. You can put Luke Shaw as a centre half and then you can put Brandon Williams as the wing back and all of that. Like I said, he's got to address the midfield as well, Solskjaer. I think he probably knows his first choice midfield trio. Mine's Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay. Some United fans will say their first choice midfield trio is Bruno Fernandes, Pogba and Fred. And some will say Bruno Fernandes, Pogba and Matic and all of that. So these decisions that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got to make at Manchester United, the decisions he has, got to make. But even if, we weren't to qualify, for the Champions League for next season, I still think Solskjaer, will be given another season at Manchester United because it is a transition period. And like Solskjaer, revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful, that we can get through this transition period. But it has been a transition period for quite some time, So there you go. There you go. But I'm still not sure if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. I'm really, really not sure. United fans have got different, verdicts on it. Some United fans think he is the foreseeable future for Man United. And some Man United fans think, we need a manager into the top level, such as a Jurgen Klopp or, a Pep Guardiola. This is what, some Manchester United fans do think. But if things don't work out under him next season, that's when, I would get rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. At the moment, he's been with us for just over a year and a half as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like I've said to you, I have taken positives from his tenure. Like I said, he's recommended 5 good players in so far. Spent just over £200 million. Of course, last summer Solskjaer brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. And in January, he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odin Ighalo into the football club. He got Ighalo on loan, so far Solskjaer's made 4 permanent signings at Manchester United. Like I said, our record against the big 6 sides this season's been good. We've taken 18 points against the big 6 sides this season. Solskjaer's also, promoted the youth very, very well as well. The young players have been given their chances. Greenwood's been flourishing, Williams has been flourishing. But on the other hand, there's some young players that have found game time hard. Obviously, Gomez has found game time hard, by the way. We've got to make a decision on Angel Gomez's future. Solskjaer did recently say that, Man United were close to getting Angel Gomez a new contract because we've had breakthrough in negotiations. He says the new contract offer is around £30,000 a week and all of that. But, Solskjaer did say that Angel Gomez is a very, very top kid. Tahith Choney's also found game time hard as well. James Garner, he's found game time hard. Diego Dalot's appearances have been limited, but that's obviously due to the few injuries that he had earlier on in the season. He is our backup right back too, and Wan-Bissaka. So these positives to take from his tenure so far. Like I've said, I've seen improvements under Solskjaer as well. Of course, we've definitely improved in the transfer market under him. There's definitely players in general that have improved under him as well. And you can say he's also changed quite a few things. Solskjaer, has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in to Manchester United. I think we have seen a total of 19 players leave the football club since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in and that. But yeah, and like I said, there's decisions Solskjaer's got to make in the summer transfer window, what players he's going to recommend in, and, of course, what players, he is going to get rid of. Solskjaer did say he's looking to make around 3 major signings or 4 major signings at the end of the season because he believes we need this to become title contenders next season, and he's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. Where he does want to strengthen up and all of that. He said he wants to bring a striker in, he wants to bring a right winger in, he wants to bring a midfielder in, and he also, wants to bring a centre-half in as well. I heard stories the other week saying that our transfer budget had been revealed. Allegedly, Solskjaer is going to be given around £270 million to spend in the summer transfer window. But if that is the case, that should be enough for us, to get, the number of players that we do want in and that. Let's put into the equation as well. We're going to sell players in the summer transfer window, so we're going to generate money in that aspect, and that's going to help us with our rebuilding process. I think we're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. I have got an idea, of the players we're going to get rid of. I think we're going to get rid of Phil Jones, or we're going to try to at least. We're going to get rid of Smalling and Rojo on permanent transfers. I've been hearing, that talks between Rome and Man United are in they're at an advanced stage. So I think we're close to getting rid of Chris Smalling permanently. I heard the other week that he was going to be loaned out for another. He was going to be loaned to Roma for another season, and then Roma are going to pay £3 million to take him on loan again. Then there'll be an obligation to buy for around £13 million. That's what I heard quite a few weeks ago. Anyway, yeah, we'll look to get rid of Rojo permanently. We're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're also looking to get rid of Andres Pereira as well. So we're looking to get rid of players in the summer transfer window. So we will see what happens. But I said to didn't I, what saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United? What saved Solskjaer's job at Manchester United is definitely, the signing of Bruno Fernandes. Because Bruno Fernandes has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. 4 goals and 4 assists now for Bruno Fernandes. I think in every Premier League game I think it's every Premier League game or nearly every Premier League game, Bruno Fernandes has been, given man of the match. Don't forget he won Premier League Player of the Month for February, reflecting on his good run of performances. We got Bruno Fernandes in a deal worth £65 million with add-ons included, and Bruno Fernandes signed a 5.5-year deal at Manchester United and all of that. And I think with the wins against the likes of City and Tottenham, they also saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United and that. And I think also too, you can say with him being a club legend, that played a part in it as well. Because disregarding Solskjaer being a club legend, maybe, he would have been sacked by now and he wouldn't have been given, this amount of time. Because, don't forget earlier on in the season, we enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. Don't forget. Yes, we did. But, Ed Woodward's confirmed, he's still willing to back Solskjaer. And also, too, the Glazers are willing to back Solskjaer as well. They're willing to back Solskjaer. But at the end of the day, Solskjaer was a great player for the football club for 11 years. If Lewis under Ferguson's guidance, and he has, got that proven pedigree as a player as Solskjaer. One of his most iconic moments as a player, of course, was when he won us the treble in 1999. That was one of his most iconic moments as a player. I think one of his most iconic moments as a manager was that actual PSG game. That was his final game as the interim manager. But that 3-1 win against PSG, that's what actually, got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job on a permanent basis. He is inexperienced as a manager. That's one of my element of concerns about him. Manchester United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. Because obviously, before he was at us, he was at Molde, won a couple of Norwegian titles at Molde. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. Enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff, did Solskjaer. I think he only managed around 29 games for Cardiff. The main explanation why he got sacked from Cardiff is because, he did get Cardiff relegated. Don't forget, from 2008 to 2010, he managed the Man United reserve team. So he did watch some of this team at this day and age, grow and develop and that. I think his approach to the games against lower opposition this season been an element of concern as well for me, because you haven't done great against lower opposition for the vast majority of this season. There's games that, we've drawn and lost, what we should have won this season. Like I said, should have beaten Palace at home, we lost to them. Should have beaten Southampton away, we drew with them. Should have beaten Burnley at home, we lost by 2-0. That's actually our last defeat, was the Burnley game at home, so we actually, haven't lost since January. So a lot of aspects, of our game have really, really improved. They really, really haven't that. But, Solskjaer, was talking the other week and, he said, he will not tolerate any rotten apples in the squad. And he's actually, warned our players about this. He has warned our players about this. But, like I said, we have been critical of Solskjaer for the vast majority of this season, but a lot of Man United fans have. But we've had explanations, to be critical of him. But like I said, there has been cultural problems at the club, and like I said, we've been critical of Ed Woodward for several years. We've also been critical of the Glazers for several years as well. I was critical of a lot of players earlier on in the season. I do also believe Man United have made quite a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations, why we have been so inconsistent. There's players that we've brought in over the years who, we shouldn't have brought in. There's also, on the other hand, players who we've brought in, who we shouldn't have got rid of. Prime example, Ander Herrera, Romelu Lukaku. we shouldn't have got rid of them players. I think there's also contracts. We've given some players contracts, who we shouldn't have given contracts to, because a lot of players' contracts have been extended since Solskjaer came in. Of course, Ferguson, made a mistake by recommending David Moyes in. You can say we made a mistake by giving Solskjaer the job permanently. So these mistakes, that Manchester United have definitely made in that. But Solskjaer is our fourth permanent manager since the Ferguson era. 3 managers have been sacked since the Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes, endured 9 months at the club. Louis van Gaal, he endured 2 years at the club. 2 years at the club, did Louis van Gaal, but he did win the FA Cup. And Jose Mourinho got sacked after 2.5 years, but he did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United, and also got us second place. In the last 7 years as well, we haven't only had different managers with different philosophies. We've recruited over 30 odd players in. We spent close to the £1 billion range on these players. But like I said to we haven't dominated English football since the Alex Ferguson era. The vast majority of our success came under Alex Ferguson. We won a total of 38 major honours under Ferguson, developed a lot of young players. He did enjoy 26 years at Man United, by the way. And there again, though, he didn't win out in his first 4 years. But I said to you, didn't I? No manager will replicate Ferguson's legacy. No manager will last as long as how long Alex Ferguson did. So that's something we have got to accept. Like I said, before Ferguson, we had Ron Atkinson. He wasn't any good either. Before him was it Franco Farrell, if I'm right. We actually got relegated under Franco Farrell. He was at Man United in, I can't remember the year, but I know we got relegated in 1974 under Franco Farrell. And before Franco Farrell, didn't we have Wolf McGuinness as well? Wolf McGuinness endured 18 months at the club and only managed to recruit 1 player in. So there you go. But we are still the most successful team in England, 20 titles, 13 of them Premier Leagues and that. But yeah, so revert back to what I said about Solskjaer early on in the video. He has got expectations to exceed for the remainder of this season, but Solskjaer knows next season he'll have bigger expectations to exceed. Our expectations next season probably will be to finish in the top 4. Challenge for the title, Our expectations actually, at the start of this season would have been to finish in that top 4, maybe, get some silverware on the board. But this has been the 7th season now, we have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up and all of that. But yeah, so like I mentioned, a preview for the Man United-Sheffield United game will be coming up. It will be coming up. It should be tomorrow that will be coming up, the preview for that. Must-win game for Manchester United. Must-win game for us. I think we've got a fully fit squad, by the way, apart from Phil Jones and Alex Tuanzebe. Of course, they are out with injury. So there you go. The news, by the way, on Jadon Sancho. Give you the news on him earlier on today. Borussia Dortmund explained why they'd benched Jadon Sancho yesterday against RB Leipzig. By the way, Dortmund beat them 2-0. They benched him because his head is already with Manchester United. Christian Falk, the German football expert, he says that Borussia Dortmund are in no rush to sell him, but he says Dortmund are willing to accept £90 million for the player. But there has been stories coming out in recent weeks saying that Dortmund want £115 million for Jadon Sancho. Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist, he came out earlier on this week and said that Sancho will accept an offer from Man United, but he said that Man United have not yet put an official bid in for Sancho. He said the contract isn't a problem, but the actual asking price could be the stumbling block. But Jadon Sancho is our number 1 priority target. Of course, Jack Grealish, he's another one of our priority targets as well. Earlier on as well, I give you the news on Ansuman Fati Vieira from Barcelona. He's got now no interest of coming to Manchester United. We were seeing him as an alternative to Sancho. Leon Bailey from Bayer Leverkusen. We've also been seeing him as an alternative to Sancho as well. But to be fair, cheaper solution. Also, too, earlier on today, I give you the news on Richie Arledson from Everton. Richie Arledson did say, didn't he? Richie Arledson did say that he'd received offers from Man United and Barcelona this season. And he rejected moves to Man United and Barcelona, but he's given the main explanation, why he rejected them moves and all of that. But yeah, give Solskjaer more time at the club. Because like I said, he's still in the process of rebuilding. Don't forget, Solskjaer's inheriting the vast majority of Jose Mourinho's players. I think Solskjaer's got, 2 years left in his contract, or just under 2 years now? When he got the job permanently, Solskjaer did sign a 3-year contract with Man United with around £7.5 million a year. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.